and then he'll put his shoulder down and run right over it.
Who do you think's going to get the ball? Green on the sneak. Touchdown, Indiana.
Well, that's how you score 12 touchdowns. He must date the head cheerleader or something. He scores all the touchdowns inside the one. You know, everybody gets it down there. He scores from the one.
11 touchdowns on the regular season, one here tonight, and Bill Mallory's troops take a 6-0 lead with 7:09 remaining in the first. The point. And it is good. 7:09 remaining to be played in the first quarter, and Indiana strikes first. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back.
I've been impressed. It's the first time I have seen Dunbar live this year, and he is everything that I had heard, quite honestly. He's got speed. He's got toughness. He catches the ball. He has 28 catches on the year. And you can see why people are awfully excited about his future after this game. But
I know there are a lot of people maybe watching this game, and I want my draft to go up a little bit higher. Vannella's short kick. It'll come down to Kendrick Bell at about the 4. Bell spins away, hit hard at about the 19-yard line. No penalties. They're going to stick with their game plan and just keep pounding to see what Indiana does.
Absolutely. Here it comes.
Straight right up the middle, up to the 25. A pickup of 5 up. They'll give it to him again. He breaks the tackle up over the 40 to the 45 and finally run out of bounds. Robert Straight.
Who can present. He'll come back and option it too.
Try it again. This time no place to go. Straight.
But he hung in there, played through some adversity, and now he's getting his due.
Pierce goes in motion. Joe on the option. Excellent defense by Indiana as Joe tries to reach over to get to the 50. 0 for 2 on third down conversion so far this evening. One setback, 3 wide receivers to the right. Joe throws to the left of the tight end to Pierce. He finds his way up to the 40, down to the 37-yard line, Alonzo Pierce. Pierce on the year only had 10 receptions. His longest was 34 against Texas Christian. Joe looks for the big play. Oh, incomplete to Lee Miles. I think he may have jumped too soon.
He got pushed.
Oh, that's good sound inside as we go back to live action. Joe, Mims on the handoff up to about the 39-yard line.
As soon as you see that tight end block down, you've got to take the option man.
Joe back to pass again. It is complete to David Mims, who slips the tackle. Gets up to about the 27-yard line. It may not be enough for the first down.
David Mims can do that for Baylor.
Pierce in motion. Joe straight up the middle to Straight. Farrell on the tackle. Ball just inside the 24-yard line of Indiana. Miles in motion. Baylor continues pounding it up the middle, and that was their game plan coming in. Is third down and 4. Ball on the 20. 2:10 remaining in the first.
Oh, the post pattern's open.
Pierce in motion. Joe is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Farrell. 38-yard field goal for Jeff Ireland. And this is something Grant Taft was concerned about his kicking. Ireland only 11 of 25, and there is the fake. Going deep in the end zone. Incomplete. Kent Bretham on the pass. Intended for Ireland. Back to pass. Goes to his second choice. Goes to his third choice. And then is hit from behind by Matthew Pearson, number 48.
And you saw the results there.
Second down and 16. Nearing the 32nd mark of the first. Oh, that'll be an offsides call against Baylor. The play continues, and Dunbar will be snowed under at the 15.
Because he had a free play. And he...
One running back. It is Dunbar, and he'll get the ball on the left side. Baylor strings the play out to the 23-yard line. And that'll wrap up the first quarter of play from beautiful Tucson, Arizona. We have played quarter number 1. Indiana leads it 7-0. 4. Shaking and baking his way up to the 45-yard line. Baylor takes over. 50-yard punt. A tip. Pierce right behind Joe, and he goes in motion. Pitch back to Mims. What a way to find the hole opening. Crosses the 40 down to the 38 to the 36-yard line. It was good personal effort by Mims. Baylor tries the middle again on 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line.
There was a rumor he cut himself shaving last night and bled sausage gravy.
Joe pump fakes, and he is going to be dropped. His first sack of the game. Single setback. Baylor takes to the air again. J.J. Joe throws it onto the Indiana bench to receive. Grantham tries to pooch kick
in the end zone.
And he does. Finds the red Indiana. 38-yard punt. Indiana wanted to keep their patterns early for Trent Green. Easy early in order to open things up, and it also helps him. And there's an easy pattern, and he doesn't complete it as he was looking for Rod Coleman, the tight end. How about total yards? 95 to 39. Dunbar the only setback. And he gets the ball, and he is going to get hard right at the line of scrimmage.
And next year, the team like Michigan. We need to beat a team like Michigan.
3rd and 8. Indiana was in the top 2 in the Big Ten in third down conversions with Ohio State. Green over the middle. He has a man open. It is complete to Thomas for a first down, Indiana, on their own 48-yard line. Said he led him with 50 catches. He started only 4 ball games. Here's Dunbar, skips off the right side, barrels his way up for about 10-yard lines, maybe 10 yards. Boy, this is a big play for Indiana. 2nd and 1. You have so many different options for them when you have Dunbar in the backfield. They're going to go to the air. Green looking for pay dirt. It is incomplete, intended for Thomas Lewis.
Had him.
Green barks out the signals, hands off to Dunbar. Quick shot right up the middle. The first time Vaughn Dunbar touched the ball in an Indiana uniform, he went 80 yards for a touchdown. Green rolling out to his left. Looking for anybody. He's going to run out of real estate. Oh, he is hit hard. That'll be a penalty. My goodness. Dunbar 7 yards back of Green in the backfield. That gives him a running start. There he goes. He's got a little bit of running room down to the 10. 2nd and 5, a 2 tight end situation now for Indiana. Green running the option, crosses inside the 5-yard line. 3rd down and 1. 9:05 left in the first. 2 tight ends again for Indiana. Green will keep it. Easily crosses the 5 and makes his way down to the 3. This is the 11th play on Indiana's drive that started way back on their own 20. Dunbar, no place to go. Now Baylor is excellent against the run.
Sean Harper, the left tackle. This offensive line is pretty solid for the Hoosiers.
Walker behind Green and Dunbar on the fake. Green is going to be hit for a big loss back to the 16-yard line. Frankie Smith, Eddie Thomas, Thomas Lewis, and Scott McGowan all split out for the Hoosiers. It's a draw to Dunbar. He's tripped up.
Boy.
27-yard attempt now for Ireland, or for Bunnell. The hold is good. The kick is up and away, and it is also good. So Scott Bunnell, who is 9 for 10 inside of 40 yards during the regular season, connects on this one. And with 6:36 remaining in the half, Indiana up by 10.
Yeah, step down there.
Well, they like the draw play, obviously. Kendrick Bell right on the goal line. He'll try the left side. He's going to be hit hard, just short of the 20-yard line, and Baylor takes over.
Yep.
See if they go back to banging straight up the middle again. The pitch back to Mims.
Oh, my.
Hello, everybody. His dad, Phil, was a 3-year Letterman quarterback in Minnesota, and he asked Mark last night, is it hitching that this is your last game? He said no. Joe's got a little bit of time. It is complete up to about the 27-yard line, but the big hit is put on.
Look what they've averaged. 3rd and 9 is what they've averaged. You can't have that in a Veer offense.
No way. And they'll give it to Straight for the first down.
And he'll bowl over 2 or 3 people for a first down.
1st and 10 for Baylor. Miles in motion. Joe loses the handle, and he's going to have to sit on it.
Give the ball to the fullback or not, and sometimes it's very difficult.
J.J. Joe with a 3.67 grade point average in finance is a smart individual, and he has to be a quick reader. Joe fakes it, has to cut it loose, and that's going to be incomplete. Lee Miles was there.
Baylor has not come back in their passing game and adjusted to that just yet.
3 wide receivers to the left for Baylor is Joe, straight drop back. Looks in the flat, he has Miles open, crosses the 50 down to the 46-yard line. Straight and Mims behind J.J. Joe. Takes the pitch. Down the middle to the tight end. Incomplete as Melvin Bonner split out wide to the right with second down and 10. 3:29 remaining to be played in the half. Indiana by 10. Steve Stutzman now into the lineup for Baylor. Right up the middle, up to the 41-yard line goes Robert Strait. And he walks around with his little can of Copenhagen. Get that snuff. Good Texas running back. Joe, pump face. Tries to go down the sideline. Nobody there for the football.
He isn't covering.
Snap a little high. Grantham just gets the kickoff as the rush was on. McGowan calls the fair catch. Baylor's going to be able to stop it, and they don't get it. I don't think anybody saw it, Pat. Loeb had a good shot at it. Wasn't able to get it. First and 10 on the 20 for Indiana. On the fake. Trent Green throws out to the right flat. It is complete. Another first down to the big tight end, Rod Coleman. He likes Baylor. Green again. No pressure by Baylor. Throw it out to the flat. A pickup of about 10 again is Walker, a former tight end. They moved him to fullback, which allowed Rod Coleman to move into the tight end slot for Indiana. Even 2 minutes left in the first half. Green, a long crossfield throw is incomplete.
Running away from a defender.
Eddie Thomas is number 7. Thomas Lewis is number 8. And Green with the straight drop back is flushed out of the pocket. Has to just pooch it off to Dunbar, who makes his way up to the 44-yard line of Baylor. 4 plays, all passes so far in this drive as Thomas and Lewis split out wide to the right. And Green's looking for one of the two of them, and he is stripped of the football. It is loose. And it'll belong to Indiana. They need the big defensive effort right now. Green flushed out of the pocket, takes a step up, throws over the middle. It is complete. Down to the 35-yard line to Scott McGowan. 3rd and 2. The clock is running in the first half. Dunbar, a big hole. He scampers over to the left side. He's down to the 20 and run out of bounds. Down to the 19. He has 76 yards. He came into the game needing 95 to break Anthony Thompson's single-season rushing record at Indiana. Importantly, too, I think he stopped the clock for the Hoosiers. Green back to pass. Rifles the ball down to the 5-yard line, and McGowan comes up with the catch. Bill Mallory said, our team was down a lot, but we get after it. Green goes for the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Lewis.
Had him, and it was a good throw.
2nd and 5, 17 seconds left in the first half. The draw to Dunbar. He kicks to the left side. Patered Indiana.
This guy is for real. Von Dunbar has made virtually every kind of run and a lot of moves tonight.
Well, we'll try to put a little icing on the cake.
Oh, my.
Almost blocked, but it is good. And with 12 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, Indiana showing a little offensive punch. They lead the Baylor Bears 17-0. And he went to Indiana because he said while he was at junior college, the Indiana coaches stayed with him. A little pooch kick by Bunnell. It'll be short, picked up at about the 28-yard line, crossing over to the 32-yard line for Frank Fallon, longtime Baylor radio announcer would call it. Joe steps up in the pocket, and he is going to be dropped for a loss. That is the second sack as Matt Bamba, number 99, blows in for the sack. As we end the second quarter to the cheers of the Indiana Hoosiers. They will go to the locker room after the first half of play at the Copper Bowl, leading the Bears of Baylor 17-0.
Athletic College halftime report will be coming up in a moment as we continue our coverage of the Copper Bowl from Tucson, Arizona.
Hey, Joe, 6 of 16 for 81 yards in that first half, and second half action is underway. And it'll be Thomas Lewis taking it right at the goal line, ends up the middle. Cuts over to the 25, and he is going to be swarmed over at the 27-yard line. And Trent Green, as we mentioned, set a Indiana single-season passing record in that first half, and he'll go to the air to begin the second. Over the middle, it is a good defensive effort by Baylor. Pass knocked down. Thomas split out wide to the right. Quick cadence to Dunbar. He's got a lot of open field across the 35, across the 40 to the 47, but we have a penalty flag down. And I think the penalty, it is holding against Indiana. Saying that too. He was very emphatic saying about Indiana football players. Well, you go back to your main man and the turf goes from underneath them. And
they're using two men. Somebody else has to respond to this Baylor defense.
Green back to pass. A lot of time. Great protection, and he throws it off into the Baylor bench. Incomplete. It's a punt. Only had one block during the season, and he's able to get a line drive away. Frankie Smith fields it over his head at the 28. Oh, he is up and it looked like his own guy at the 39-yard line.
First time tonight has given their offense a reasonable field position to do something with.
Joe fakes the option, goes for the big bomb, and it'll be knocked down incomplete. As on first down for the Baylor Bears, they've only completed one. Bust it up the middle with Straight as he crosses the 40 down to about the 43-yard line.
Here the game face on.
3rd and 8. The draw. It is Mims. Has a big hole. Crosses the 45 down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Straight is met by everybody on Indiana's front four. 17-0. 11:35 left in the 3rd. Joe is going to be hit. The ball is loose. Baylor gets a hold of it. Back to the 46-yard line. 3rd and 16. Ball on the 46 for the Bears. Joe's going to have to go upstairs with it. Over the middle, almost intercepted by Mark Hagan. It hit the senior again. High snap. Whoa. Here comes Indiana. No penalty. Didn't get a piece of it, and it's going to be a short kick. It's a Baylor bounce down to the 14, down to the 13, down to the 12. Sold at the 11. Well. Trent Green changing the signals at the line. Change the signal, same play. Dunbar is smacked hard at the 10 by Brian Hand. Last 2 carries, Vaughn Dunbar has picked up losses. We're going to try him again. How about 3 in a row? Able to pick up a couple of yards on the play.
The difference to me has been Indiana's defense really setting the table for Vaughn Dunbar and Trent Green.
Green back to pass.
Boy, was that a throw.
At the 20, he throws it on a rope, complete to Eddie Beatty. Beatty is driven back, but they'll put it up to the 20, and it'll be short of the 1st down. And they back off. And he boots the daylights out of this. Down to the 31-yard line. Smith looking for some running room. Shaking and baking and no place to go. She's probably asleep back in Atlanta already. 17-0. 8:30 remaining to be played in the 3rd. And on 1st and 10, start getting back to work.
You really know how to have a good time.
I'm a party animal. J.J. Joe pitching it back to Mims. Finds a little bit of running room, crosses the 40 down to the 42-yard line. Congratulations to Terry. Here comes a little trick play. Mims looking to throw back to Joe, and he is going to be smothered back at the 34-yard line. Mark Hagan is there. Here comes Indiana again. Boy, they are extremely close to blocking one. It is a short kick. Little backspin on it, stopped at the 35-yard line where Indiana starts off again.
That's a good punt rush.
Green, a great fake. He's going for all the money, and it is incomplete, just off the fingertips of Thomas Lewis. Frankie Smith was on the coverage, 2nd and 10, ball on the 35. Dunbar hit hard, and he will be dropped at about the 34-yard line. Well, that's when you talk about the mouth is dry, the eyes are glazed over, and the young man's had some problems, but he's going to be a good one for the Bears. Nobody there to get the Trent Green pass. You eat pizza, you can't talk Italian. Nice spiral. That'll drive Smith all the way back to the 15-yard line, back to the 13, and he'll start from there. There's 5-yard run made it 17-0. That is where we are now as Robert Straight that really hasn't opened things up. It is Kendrick Bell, number 28. Fiery leader for the offensive line for the Baylor Bears, who've played 4 years together. They need to get something going right now as Straight crosses the 30-yard line. Close to the 1st down, is going to be short. To see.
There it is.
1st and 10, ball on the 46. Joe in the flat. He has Lee Miles at the 40 up to the 38-yard line. Is the fastest Baylor Bear from point to point. Joe's going to have to put it up again, and he airs it out the far side, and it is complete once again down to the 32-yard line to Reggie Miller.
We need to get more of the top 10 players in Texas.
Those facilities will help now. Pitch back to Mims. He's got some running room in the first down. Crosses the 15. Kendrick Bell into the lineup. Mims will take a breather. Man in motion. They hand it up the straight, right up the middle, down to the 15-yard line. John Miller is.
We're going to keep running at you.
Well, the first and third quarters for Baylor usually have been the biggest. They have been the worst for Indiana. This time Straight takes it down to the 10-yard line. And first and 10 Baylor. The ball is on the 10. Up the middle. Larry McDaniel. This year they had over 2,600 yards rushing in the new Veer offense. Pitch back. It is Kendrick Bell. Big hit.
Balls on the left hash. An option play out to the wide side of the field.
Henry and Kendrick Bell the setbacks. They can get us first down by some 6 inches. Joe goes for the end zone. Incomplete penalty. That'll be interference called on Indiana's.
Pretty good coverage here by Richardson. He's
right
pushing,
there.
Yeah, he's pushing with the left hand, I think, is where they got him, because at the end of the play, Richardson did a nice.
In the third quarter, Straight is the fullback. He gets the ball. He fumbles into the end zone. Indiana has it. Oh, my goodness. Against Texas Tech. Baylor fumbled on the 1-yard line. It was returned 99 yards. It cost them the win. Grant Taft was telling Robert Straight, keep your hands on the ball like this man does. Dunbar up to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 4. Dunbar 85 yards, 5 for 3 yards this half. And he is up to about the 29-yard line. And we have played 45 minutes in Tucson, Arizona. Baylor has had their chances, haven't capitalized, and they find themselves down by 17. First downs, total yards, but the big number they don't have, points. Fumble. Green tries to find the handle, finally does, falling out at about the 26. Got to go up a little bit for that one. Into the wind. That is an excellent kick. Smith back to the 27, finds a hole, crosses the 40, hit hard before going down, trailing by 17. Joe fakes the handoff. He's getting pressure from behind, and he'll be sacked by Greg Farrell. The 4th sack. A loss of 9. Farrell, 3 straight years he's led Indiana in tackles. The handoff to Mims, a little bit of running room as he crosses the 35, and
he loves football.
And he's an academic award for Indiana as J.J. Joe getting pressure again, forced out of the pocket, completes the pass to number 83, Melvin Bonner. First and 10, ball on the 42, Baylor on the move again. Of course, they fumbled the last possession on the 2. J.J. Joe throws in the flat, incomplete. And
well, how about you? Are you going to be glad that he's going to be hanging up the spikes?
Oh, I've enjoyed it, though. I mean, I hate to see him hurt all the time, and so I'm sorry to see it end, but I think it's
exceptionally good timing, whether it's running down a play from the backside, leaping at the right moment to knock the play away, and that time picking the ball off.
Second Baylor turnover, none for Indiana, which is a big story. In Dunbar needs just 3 yards now to break Anthony Thompson's record. Green forced out of the pocket, has a little bit of running room. He's got some speed over the 50 down to the 45-yard line. Goes Trent Green. First down of the half, and the penalty is going to go against Indiana.
I think made this Indiana team a better football team.
Second down and 10, 11:45 left in the game. 17-0. Indiana on top. Green goes to the air once again, wide open, completes the pass. Finally hog-tied down at about the 28-yard line.
Perfect throw by Trent Green on one hash mark. Takes a strong arm to do that, and then a scamper down the sidelines. Good play.
McGowan out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Dunbar looking for those 3 yards, and he is going to lose a couple instead. Minus 5 yards for Dunbar on that. He's down to 87 yards, so he needs 8 more yards to break Anthony Thompson's record. And here he comes. He may get it on this play. Dunbar crosses the 25, and they're going to mark it right on the 25-yard line. 1,783 yards this year for Vaughn Dunbar. And he has all-purpose yards. He's a great kickoff returner. Nobody kicks to him anymore. Green, wide open, completes the pass to Eddie Thomas down to the 16-yard line. But the Hoosiers coming back here in the 4th. Dunbar over the right side, and there's a flag on the play as Dunbar slides his way down to the 10. Let's see what the flag is all about as we're at the 9:17 mark of the fourth.
Who has really not been fooled on play action, has stayed in deep center field and taken away some deep passes.
Santana Dotson is taking a rest now for the Baylor defense as Green goes back up to the air to Thomas. Oh, the Indiana Hoosiers used to have a bison as a mascot, and everybody in Indiana says, I'm not sure why we had a bison as a mascot.
I was just going to ask you that.
I didn't know. I couldn't find anybody who really knew why. Dunbar, the right side. Watch him go now. The engines are on as he bulls his way down to the 7-yard line. The obvious joke there is poor guy, but I won't say that, okay? I won't say that. Santana Dotson again off to the side. Oh, Fred Green gets nailed at about the 6-yard line. But
young players really benefited from the bowl experience.
No place to go. Find something else to eat, I'm sure. Down to the 4-yard line. Indiana knocking on the door again. The real big turn in that first quarter when they faked the field goal. Had a wide open play, didn't get it. Haven't been able to score. Here comes Green on the bootleg. Touchdown, Indiana. Green, who had 11 rushing touchdowns in the regular season, picks up a couple of more this evening. 15, so he's a big kid. And Bunnell adds the extra point with 5:55 left to be played in the ball game. The Hoosiers of Indiana have a shutout on their hands. They lead the Bears of Baylor at the Copper Bowl 24-0.
I tell you, they've been a very efficient offensive football team tonight.
Well, the last time Baylor was shut out as the kick goes into the end zone. Allegiance there, huh? Indiana players are really hoping for Michigan on that one. A.J. Joe's pass will fall incomplete in the hands of Reggie Miller. Now, I like that bull. Joe runs out of the pocket, finally dumps it off, and it'll be incomplete. And once again, Indiana.
8.9 yards. That has been the difference in this football game. Their team needs to be in 3rd and 2.
Right. 3rd and 10. Sort of like the wishbone team. You don't want to get in that type of offense. Pass will be complete to Mims. He is stopped at the 25, well short of the first down.
All the reasons for not having one can be rebutted.
Well, Ken Bretham had to go up high as he knocks away his 6th punt. Taken at the 40 by McGowan. Has some running room up to the 47-yard line.
I played at Southern Cal on 2 national championship teams, but it's the backup guys that really make you a good football team.
Well, we talked about Dyer. He is in the ball game right now, as is Brett Law. Law strung out to the near sideline. He's run out of bounds. Chris Dyer, the 6'2", 195-pound junior out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. 2nd and 5. The handoff to Law, the big hole over the left side, and Law able to get.
Hey, that'd be great. That would be great. I tried to give them all, and with the help of these guys, I was fortunate, to.
Whoa! He had 265 yards in a game versus Missouri earlier this year. Is Chris?
Remember, they're just like you and I who grew up.
1st down and 15, nearing the 4-minute mark of the 4th and final quarter. Dyer, the handoff to Law with the right side. And boy, he's showing a little bit of speed, and the heir apparent to the spot of Von Dunbar goes down.
We didn't move the ball very well at all in that 3rd quarter, but we went 24-0. I'm just ecstatic.
You came so close this year. You lost 4 games to Big Ten teams, also Notre Dame on the road. A couple turns here, there. You can be.
Looks a bit awkward out there, but he's one of those guys who keeps moving the chains, picking up 5-6 yards.
He has 4 carries for 40 yards so far this evening. Dyer will be hammered at the 5-yard line. I think there. Not bad for Grant Taff, a small-town boy from Snyder, Texas.
Grant was also talking about his only bowl experience.
3rd and goal, ball on the 6-yard line for Indiana. 1:55 left to be played. They lead at 24-0. The pitch back to Law, and Baylor's defense is tight. I think a school like Indiana, you have great football in your state, but you still have to beat the names.
Your players really start believing too, Ron.
Offsides, defense, half the distance to the goal.
1:15 left to be played in the contest. On the option, it is Dyer. Goes down to about the 2.5-yard line, and Baylor will take over 1990 against Nebraska. As J.J. Joe will take a seat on the sideline. Steve Needham in at quarterback. Joe, not a very good night, just 10 of 26 for 131 yards. And that's going to be tough. Needham looking for a little bit of running room, and as it has been all night, the Indiana defense
Several times tonight.
Baylor trying to get everybody into the football game, which is a nice move by Grant Taff as we're down to the final 40 seconds of play as everybody gets in. Kendrick Bell. They'll be fishing there in 2 days in beautiful Scroggins, Texas. Bet you don't know where that is. Right by Mount Vernon. On the run, Baylor trying to avoid a shutout out at the 43-yard line. It is Kendrick Bell. With the Domino's Pizza Copper Bowl for Pat Hayden and myself, and being so gracious to us the last couple of days. And that'll just about do it. The final 5 seconds. 1991, the bowl season for 91 is complete. The next bowls will be in 1992, and Indiana ends the year on a high note. They beat Baylor.